Hey y'all, this was Sis is Given. Asymmetrical bob, you know what I mean? She says stiff wear, stiff wear. Stiff nowhere, honey. Stiff nowhere, honey. Yes, and you see her swing right back in place. Yeah. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Leilani's Love here. Today I'm going to be showing y'all how to create, cut, and color this beautiful asymmetrical bob unit. So stay tuned and make sure you're ready. Okay. First, we're going to start off with the coloring process. You're going to need a tub of hot water, a whisk, the color that you're going to be using, and the bundles or hair that you're going to be using. Today, I'm going to be using Joico Color Intensity, and I'm also going to be using Malibu, which is a powder color pigment. That's going to be my base color. And today I'm going to be coloring 3 bundles and a 4x4 closure. And I'm just going to start off by adding the Malibu, which is going to be my base color. I'm going for like a burgundy pink kind of color. I want it mostly red, but with hues of pink and purple in it. So red is going to be my base color, and then I'm going to be using the Joico Color Intensity in the shades Hot Pink, Magenta, and Pink. So you'll see me starting by adding in my colors. And you just want to use a whisk as you add in your colors because you don't want the color to coagulate. Coagulate means not to clot, okay? Or it means to clot. I don't want the colors to clot and, get clumpy. So get out your dictionary if you didn't know what that meant. But that's what causes blotchy color. When you see girls with wigs and you be like, oh, was it supposed to be that color? And it's like it was supposed to be blue, but it's like 3 or 4 different colors that she wasn't really trying to get. Most of the time it's because her color wasn't stirred good. So yeah, make sure you stir your color in, alright? So after I finish stirring in my color, you'll see me dipping the hair. Just make sure that when you're putting your colors into the water that you're actually mixing them in. This is like a very important detail. Just make sure you mix. Make sure all the lumps are out of the color. This will make sure you have a good consistent coverage. If you ever had to make Kool-Aid, then you know exactly how to mix this. It's the same consistency, guys. Okay, now you are going to see me add my favorite, a shadow root, also called chateau routage. You're going to see me go in and hand paint this with a brush. You can use a comb or a brush, whatever is your preference. You just want to make sure that you're doing really thin, neat, and clean sections. Okay, guys? Make sure you're parting in thin sections. Don't put a lot of product on the brush because it will go through and stain your lace. So you want to make sure that you're just dabbing on the minimal amount of product as possible. Okay? And be very careful. When you're doing a shadow root, you don't have to come down too far. I usually go down about like between 1.5 inches and 2 inches. Okay, so the hair has been washed and conditioned, and we're going to start on sewing on the closure. I put it as slanted towards one side because it's going to be a side part. We're just going to do really tight stitches halfway up one side and then go halfway up the other side. You just want to make sure that the lace closure is completely flat. Now we'll be using T-pins to hold the weft in place to keep it exactly where we'll be sewing. You want to be sure that if you do decide to sew over the band, that you make sure that you're only puncturing the top layer of fabric. You don't want to go through the elastic band. If you do go through the elastic band, the cap is going to lose its stretch and it's going to be very loose. So just be mindful of that as you're stitching. Okay, as you start sewing, you just want to make sure that your thread is very tight and taut as you're sewing, and you just want to make sure that you keep your stitches pretty neat and equal distance apart. This will keep your wig from bunching up and from having humps and lumps in your wig. Since this is a side part wig, I'm going to be sewing in a J-shaped pattern, and I'm going to be leaving about 1 inch in between the closure and the end of the weft that I'm sewing. So you're just gonna see me continuously sewing in the J pattern until I reach the top. Okay, so now you're gonna see me doing the fold over method, which I'm simply going to be folding over the track and making sure it's completely flat, and then I'm going to continue to sew. After I continue my first sewing loop, I'm gonna knot that so I can make sure that everything is secure and flat. I prefer to fold over the first 1 or 2 bundles because it just ensures that I don't have as much shedding. When you fold over, instead of cutting the tracks, it just helps with shedding. But once you get to the top, you don't really have much of a choice. You have to actually not fold them over and cut them, just to make sure that everything is not bulky, because if you fold over your tracks at the top, it can make it lumpy and bumpy. You're just going to see me continue to sew in a J-shaped pattern. The closer you get to the top, you just want to make sure that you're leaving at least 1 inch of space, or enough for 2 rows. Here you can see me getting closer to the top, and you can see that I've left about 1 inch of space, which is where I'm going to sew my last 2 rows. To close up the top, I'm just going to be sewing in the same direction that the closure is, in a U shape. And my last track will go directly on the closure. Now you just want to take some scissors and cut out the excess cap from underneath the closure that you don't need anymore. Just be careful, don't get too close to the thread that you've sewn. And here she is. Say hi to Ruby, everybody. Isn't she fabulous? Now you see me here with my Paul Mitchell Smooth Iron Plus flat iron. I'm going to be using these to straighten this bad boy out, because before you cut a bob, if you're cutting a straight bob, you must straighten it, okay? Do not try to skip this step. Especially if the hair is wavy or curly, you need to straighten it if you're going to be wearing it straight. Okay? This is a very important step. Whenever you're curling or straightening hair that's been colored, you want to be sure to use it on low heat and to use heat protectant. Hey, go Ruby, hey. Shwitty feeling herself and she not even done yet. Like, chill, sis. And now for our main event, the cut. The most important advice I can give you about doing an asymmetrical bob is just do it in layers. Don't try to cut all of your bob at once. Don't cut all of the hair at one time. Cut it in sections. It will be neater. It will have a better flow. You can use shears, you can use a razor, you can use clippers, whatever, but just do it in sections, please. I prefer to use shears and thinning shears when I cut a bob. I do sometimes alternate with a razor, but it's just your preference and what you're used to using. You can get an ill cut with like whatever, razor, clippers, scissors, it doesn't matter. It's just all your preference. But I do prefer to use thinning shears and shears. Now you just see me here using heat protectant and wax to go through the closure. I'm just going through the closure section, parting it in sections and just making sure that it's as flat as possible. You do have to use product to make sure it's flat and it stays flat. And that's pretty much it. You're just gonna flatten out the closure, make sure your part is straight, and then you in the game, all right? Yes, if you feeling Ruby Red, make sure y'all leave her a comment below and give us a thumbs up on the video. You can find her along with many other units from my collection on Instagram at leilanilovesbeauty. And I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe so you can be a part of the Love Squad. Hit the bell so you can get the notifications, and be sure to just, follow along.